I'm Lola Young, here with Mix with the Masters at Rubric Studios, beautiful studio in Paris.
Hi, I'm Jared Solomon, otherwise known as Solomonophonic. I'm here with Manuka, Will Brown, Connor Dickinson.
I'm going to be discussing the track Messy, my track Messy.
Cause I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean. You told me get a job, and you asked where the hell I've been.
Messy was a song that I wrote in my bedroom. Originally, I kind of had these two chords. There's like a kind of weird C chord that just goes up the fret. It was a really simple song. I started it with like, you know I'm impatient, and I remember really liking that lyric. It just became like the song about me feeling like I am never enough. I'm trying really hard for this person, and I don't feel like I belong, really, no matter what I do.
1,000 people I could be for you when you hate the fucking law.
So I'll show you the way I wrote it a little bit. So it's just like this C shape, moved up, and I just like kind of like that, and then without, and then yeah, it's just that's the whole song. And then it was just, yeah.
You know I'm impatient, so why would you leave me waiting outside the station when it was like my...
And that was, I think, more the original tempo. It was a little bit slower.
Get what you're saying. I just really don't want to hear it right now. Can you shut up for like once in your life? Listen to me. I took your nice words of advice about how you think I'm gonna try.
Yeah, and I think what's nice about it is that the melody meanders and then it kind of pulls back and forward. It's not what you think is gonna happen. Like, you know, it would be. Do you know what I mean? More straight, but the way that I'm singing it is like kind of pulled and pushed. So it was like -4 degrees, and it's just got that like little rhythmic like thing, and that's basically. And then the chorus is actually.
Cause I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean. You told me get a job, then you asked where the hell I've been, and I'm too perfect.
I had the two chords and I had the song finished, and then pretty much we went to LA, and I think I was pushing quite a bit for this song to get produced. I just wanted to ensure that it got the love it deserved and it got the time and the effort that it deserved.
We all got in this studio called 64 Sound in Highland Park. It's a really cool studio. I mean, they have so much cool vintage gear. We had a week of working there.
The way we all tend to work as a group is like we literally go in the studio if there's a live room and we'll literally just jam. Everyone will pick up an instrument. Sometimes I'm playing a bit, sometimes I'm not. And then we'll go around chords and jam out basically. I'll just kind of write the lyrics and the melody as I'm singing.
The last day we were like trying to make a song. We like attempted 3 songs that were all horrible sounding. And we were all like, dude, this is not
really
working.
Struggling, right?
So then we decided, Lola had a song that she wrote by herself, and Connor helped a little bit on it.
And it's just great to have someone that you trust and you can collaborate with and you can bounce ideas back and forth, and he made me have faith in the song and believe in the song, and that was the most important thing.
We wanted to do something with energy, and she wrote it like slow and folky, and it was like kind of a sad thing. And I was like, why don't we take that and like speed it up and put some like 70s drummers on it, and then like we'll have something with energy and just see how it feels. But the lyrics are really like wordy, so it was like, how fast can we get away with it?
The crux of the song was there, and also just like the feeling was there and the emotion was there. You know, it felt right as soon as we started playing it, really.
Will was on drums, and then you were on acoustic guitar, I was on bass, my friend Scott was on the CS60, and then Lola was in the vocal booth, and we just kept doing takes over and over.
I just remember how good that, like the bass line and the drums like playing together.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the feeling in the studio was just like, this is it. Like,
yeah.
This is the feeling like that you want from this kind of like.
I didn't want to stop playing it.
When we were laying down the foundation, we had Lola singing in a booth, and then she eventually was like, I'm tired, I can't sing anymore. We kept the verses from that take.
I was losing my voice when I recorded Messy, so it was just like I was on the tail end.
Leave me waiting outside the station when it was like -4 degrees, and I get what you're saying. I just really don't want to hear it right now. Can you shut up for like once?
Even in my vocal take, there's a little bit of like slight imperfections, but that massively just makes the song what it is and also relates back to the meaning of the song, which is that, you know, imperfections can also be in some ways really special and even more enticing and interesting than something that's perfect or feels really like clean cut.
Don't say hello, 'cause I got high again and forgot to fold my clothes.
We were laying down the foundational track. We were really focused on just dynamics and just like all of us, like we were.
Yeah, because it's kind of just the same chords, so it was important to
That
have
was kind
like
of the
the
goal.
ups and downs, because that's where like the interesting, like keeping the attention comes from.
I thought it was really cool to like do like a live take with acoustic guitar and live drums.
I think we
Licensing-
used the whole take.
Yeah, it was just a whole take. Yeah,
The imperfections were like
Yeah.
kind of part of it.
Exactly.
In the end.
It was quite a raw, like organic way of working. We added some BVs and some like harmonies and stuff.
I mean, those layers like really took it to the next level, I thought, and that harmony on the last chorus there.
Oh, and I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean.
I feel like that's just like a really sad moment.
Where the hell I've been, and I'm too perfect till I open my big mouth. I want to be me. Is that not allowed? And I'm too clever.
What he's playing is kind of country.
Yeah.
Which like you'd never really like Lola, you know, would never kind of put that in her song, but like it just sits in the background, like adding this like slightly rhythmic like country vibe to it that's kind of like a little bit buried, and like I just love that it's there.
It's not like a one part that we've looped. It's like, you know, we'll play the whole track. So there's a lot of like different kind of moments, special moments that poke out, because it's like someone will be playing and there'll just be a little lick or a little riff that kind of pokes out throughout the song. Yeah, this is gorgeous.
What a lovely sound. This was played on the MS-20, and then me and Scott chopped this out and ran it through a spring.
Is that the MS-20?
Yeah, that was the MS-20, and I ran
That
it through
sounds so much like a guitar,
Yeah, yeah, it does, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, spring makes anything sound like a guitar.
yeah. True.
And I'm too perfect till I show you that I'm not 1,000 people I could be for you when you hate the fucking law.
Scott has his Wurlitzer.
The whirly, I love Scott playing the whirly. So there's just the whirly that comes in the bridge that's just is really warm. It's a really nice part. It's just a nice part. Whenever I listen to the song, that's what I hear. Obviously, there's the main acoustic guitar, there's the electric. That's the bit that I really like listening to. It makes me feel, it gives that warmth and that kind of like presence. I like it.
You hate the fuck.
I got the guitar. As soon as I played that, I was like, damn, it sounds like Backstreet Boys. What's the song? Yeah, I just remember playing that. I'm like, that sounds like I Want It That Way. Yeah, that. And then I didn't do the way, because if you do the way, you got to pay him a lot of money. So we just did I Want It That. I want it that. Anyway, yeah. This was a cool little Easter egg that happened. I remember it was like kind of at the end of the day, we had a Juno 106, and we had Will play chords, and we were doing like an arpeggio. The 106 doesn't have an arpeggiator in it, but I guess our engineer Tyler, he like hooked it up to Pro Tools, so it was like clock synced, arpeggiated or something with Pro Tools. It was a weird thing, but instead of like an arpeggiator playing only one note at a time, it was playing the whole chord and arpeggiating the chord like up octaves, instead of just doing a normal one note arpeggiation.
It's good.
It's like, it was so weird. I was like, as you opened up the filter, it like started
Was making a chord within
a chord,
each
yeah,
notes of the art.
which was like so strange, but like we thought it sounded great.
Is that not allowed? And I'm too clever, and then I'm too fucking dumb. You hate it when I cry, and this is that time.
I remember finishing it right before Christmas, and I remember going back home to the Bay Area and showing my family and playing Messy for my parents and like shutting it off halfway because I was like, no, the mix is not right. My mom was like, it's okay, Jared. It's okay. It doesn't need to be good for me. I'm like, yes, it does. Ah. Yeah, anyway, I was always so insecure about my rough. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know what he was insecure about, but all I know is that it just goes to show that when you trust in each other and you trust in people that you really admire and find inspiring, then that can also just be within itself like enough to carry you through.
I think a lot of like the beauty and the way it was made just came from her and the lyrics and what she's talking about.
And there are songs that I feel insecure that I'm about to release, and it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you've got to trust in your gut and knowing that, like, you know, they're just songs. Like, they're not, you know, some do change the world, but not all of them do. And, you know, I think that's what's great about this day and age with the likes of like social media. You don't need to kind of be so super perfectionist. You can just put songs out and see what happens. I think that's really important to do.